Across the river from Brooklyn, where we find Sean Spicer high above the rest of us inside Trump Tower. Sean is the communications director for the RNC and one of the party's chief strategists. Sean, before you go on vacation tomorrow, I wanted to ask you a few questions. How are you feeling going into Election Day, and where do you see positive signs in Florida?
I feel very good. I think there's going to be a lot of people looking forward to going down to your neck of the woods in the next couple of weeks to finally relax and enjoy after all the hard work that we've put in. You know, in 2012, Jim, we had 84 staffers between the Romney campaign and the RNC spread throughout Florida. We now have 1,800 people canvassing that entire state, whether it's in, Broward or Miami-Dade, all the way up through the I-4 corridor and into the Panhandle. We feel very good about our ground game. Very good about early vote. As you know, the Obama campaign won early vote last time with over 100,000. We closed that gap. Mitt Romney lost Florida by 74,000 votes. Just on the early vote alone, we've made that up, and so we feel really good about where we're headed.
Dade and Broward had record numbers, but as you know, Dade and Broward tend to be heavily Democratic counties. Does that not worry you?
Well, no, I think we're doing very well in the Panhandle and throughout other places in Florida. I think that the I-4 corridor, we've seen a really good turnout among the people that we need to get out. One of the things that I think is interesting is that, there's a lot of public and media outlets that use polls. We have a very sophisticated data operation. We track every single voter, all 197 million of them. So we feel very good about where we think people who have voted and who have not voted, where we are for Florida. It's going to be a late night, I think, but ultimately the momentum's with us, not just in Florida, but in all these battleground states.
Now, there's been a lot made of the Hispanic surge that has occurred in places like Nevada, but particularly here in Florida. If Donald Trump ends up losing Florida, most people believe it will be because the Hispanic vote turned out in such record numbers to turn him down.
Yeah, and Jim, early we sort of saw a lot of that, whether it was the I-4 corridor with the Puerto Rican vote, or even in in Miami-Dade in particular with the Cuban community. We modeled a lot of that to where we thought things had to be for us to win, and we still feel very good about where we're going to be come tomorrow night.
Now, Donald Trump, as part of his closing argument, I was listening to him earlier, and he talked about how, again, he's talking about a rigged system, that the Comey investigation, the latest letter, once again shows that it's rigged, and he says, that if if we want justice for Hillary Clinton, the American people need to deliver justice at the ballot box on November 8th. If Donald Trump turns out to win on November 8th, will she be an unjust or illegitimate president in his eyes?
No, I mean, look, we live in a democracy. Whoever the majority of people vote for in a given office is the victor.
Does Donald Trump continue to have confidence in FBI Director James Comey, and would you want him to resign?
I really don't know. I think, to be honest with you, me and the rest of the staff here and throughout the country is focused on getting out the greatest number of Republican and independent and, frankly, even Democratic voters who are ready for change tomorrow. And so I have not spent a ton of time asking Mr. Trump who he wants to serve in his administration, specifically Director Comey. But he'll have plenty of time to make that decision after tomorrow night.
All right. Other than Florida, what states should I be looking at? If we're sitting around, we've got the popcorn out, we're looking at election returns coming in on TV, and we're looking at different states, what are the key states for you that you're going to be looking at in your war room to see how they're turning out?
Well, I feel very good about North Carolina, a place that the Clinton campaign keeps talking about, so I think we'll deliver their first loss in North Carolina. But I feel very good about Michigan. I'm very, very interested to see if Colorado comes over the finish line. We've seen tremendous growth in Colorado, a reliably blue state presidentially. My state of Virginia, I think, is going to be a nail-biter. Again, trend is moving forward. I think Pennsylvania and New Hampshire are all states that continue to trend Donald Trump's way. So I think there's a lot of them, to be honest with you, where we continue to break that blue wall, as they call it.
As win or lose tomorrow, how has Donald Trump changed the Republican Party going forward?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I think he's definitely brought a lot of excitement and energy and new people in. party, and I think we need to continue to harness that and speak out and speak for change and to talk and tap into the frustration and demand a government that works better.
Is he the face of the Republican Party, win or lose, going forward?
Well, I think there's several faces of the Republican Party. I mean, we live in a country of 320+ million people, so we have several heads of the party, if you will. Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, my boss, Reince Priebus. I mean, there's a lot of people in the Republican Party that are leaders. I think, of course, he would be one and would continue to be one.
Are you frustrated that Speaker Ryan didn't come on board sooner, faster, harder, and other Republicans like Jeb Bush and others didn't help you in this final stretch? Could they have made the difference, you think?
Well, I think we're happy that Speaker Ryan's out there talking about the need to vote for Donald Trump. He's been unequivocal in the last few days about his support, and we're glad to see that. And again, more and more Republicans from around the country have come home. We're glad to have all of their support, and I hope every one of them that goes to the polls tomorrow really understands the two different trajectories that this country can take and the need that we have for change in this country.
Well, the nice thing is if you lose, you won't have to do the postmortem. You did it 4 years ago. Will you be able to dust that one off again?
Well, I don't think we're going to lose, so we're all good on that front.
Sean, thank you very much for your time.